Hi, CHS. We are ready and looking forward to welcoming the Lakers and Champs back to CHS this week. This is the last weekly Laker View. Moving forward, we will be transitioning to a bi-weekly and then eventually monthly Laker View. You might see a few new faces on our screen this time. As I mentioned in previous Laker Views, I was going to bring the admin team on board. So a couple more friendly faces. Most of you know Mr. D. Magistris, Assistant Principal Extraordinaire. Ms. Leclerc, other Assistant Principal Extraordinaire. And Ms. Shea, our Director of Student Support Services. So last week we shared that teachers would be communicating weekly learning activities for both in-person and remote days via weekly learning plans. We have linked the weekly learning plan grid here. So Champs, take a minute to look at the WLPs for your classes to see what remote or asynchronous work you have before you come to CHS on Thursday and Friday. And Lakers, you are also more than welcome to check out what your work is going to be looking like for next week and what you'll be doing in classes on Tuesday and Wednesday. On the first day of school, so Tuesdays for Lakers and Thursdays for Champs, we will be running a modified Smart Start for all students. We'll talk about a little bit more about that in a minute. In addition, last week, we shared two important documents that are guiding the opening of schools. If you haven't had a chance to read the guides, please take a minute to do so, and we've linked them again in the Laker View. We also want to take a minute to go over our top 10 list from the guides, as well as an overview of the first days of school, Smart Start, so that you know what to expect. So just give us a minute. So we recognize that our guides were long, they're comprehensive, and so you probably waded through a lot of documentation and maybe felt like this after you were looking at the guides. And so we recognize that, so some of you might recognize this guy. This is Mr. Lang, incredible science teacher here, so if you have him on your schedule, you are a very lucky student. And so we created for this week the top 10 things you need to know for navigating CHS this year. And so Mr. D and Ms. Leclerc are going to take us through that. Pass it over to Mr. D.
All right, top 10, number 1, arrival at CHS in the morning. We are encouraging as many kids as possible to drive to school to help alleviate crowding on the buses. So parking is going to look a little different this year. Parking will be open to all students with a valid Vermont driver's license. So if you would like to park on campus, simply fill out that form and return it to Hope, and we'll hook you up with a parking pass. In addition to parking on campus, we also have overflow parking at Bayside, Bayside Park, and Bayside Park near the tennis fields if our lots are full. New this year, the doors are going to open up at 7 a.m. That's when the screening process will start to enter the building. So the way that will look is all bus students, walkers, bikers, kids who are being dropped off by their parent or guardian, or any student walking to school will enter and go through the screening process at the main entrance. Student drivers will be screened and enter through the performing arts entrance. Number 2, health screening. Every day that you enter the building, you will have to go through a mandatory health screening before you enter the building. Once you go through that quick screening process, you can grab breakfast outside of the cafeteria. And then on the first day of school, you're going to head directly to your home base. There will be adults in the building to help you locate your home base if you don't know where you're going. Every day after that point, you're going to head directly to your first mod class after your daily screening. For any students who may be doing senior priv or need to leave campus to go to a doctor's appointment, if you return to school, you're going to have to undergo another health screening upon arrival. Number 3, building use. The interior of our building is going to be closed to the public, including restrooms. We are only open to students, essential vendors, and staff. So families, unfortunately, you're going to have restricted access to CHS. We're going to be doing a lot of virtual meetings, so stay tuned more on that. And in terms of the exterior grounds, the public may use the school grounds during non-school hours. Dismissal is going to look a little different this year. We're going to have a staggered dismissal at the end of the school day. There will be no more traditional bell ringing at 2:20. So at 2:20, the main office will get on the PA system and we'll have 3 staggered dismissals. The first group of students to exit the building will be drivers, students participating in athletics, and students being picked up by their parents and walkers and bikers. We'll then go on for a second time and release a portion of our bus students, followed by a third announcement releasing the remaining bus students. In terms of bathroom usage, all bathrooms will be open and they will have capacity limits for each room. We are asking students not to use the bathroom between mods. Students should go directly to their next class, check in with their teacher, and then the teacher will develop a process to release students to use the bathroom. However, if it's an emergency, you can certainly go, but students should report directly to their class before going to the bathroom. You'll notice when you enter the building, some of our spaces are going to look a little different this year, particularly the gymnasium, the library, and our cafeteria. We're not going to be able to use them for their intended purposes. The gymnasium will be used for a home base location as well as basically home base. And then if we have any inclement weather where our PE kiddos need to come in, it will be instructionally focused. Locker rooms will be closed during the school day as well. Our library is going to be used for 11th and 12th grade study halls, as well as a few home base locations. And then again, the cafeteria you'll see is divided. A portion of that space is going to be used to prepare meals for the entire district. This will also be the place where CTE, BTC students wait in the morning for their buses. And again, the home base time, we will use that for home base locations in the afternoon. Lunch this year will take place in Mod 2 every day from 12:10 to 12:52. That will serve as lunch and home base. You will eat in your home base location. Food will be brought directly to you. You can still bring in your food from home. Unfortunately, we won't have microwaves for you to use, so plan accordingly. And then, you know, I'm sorry to say this, but a la carte's going to be closed. I know students and staff are going to be bummed about that, but that's what we have to do right now to keep us healthy. Senior Priv is still in effect. Seniors, class of 2021. The only catch is you got to go to home base. That's a requirement. So if you do have Priv, you will go directly to your home base, check in with your teacher, see what sort of activities are taking place that day, because we're going to have a lot of our school drills and class activities that go through home base. So you have to report there. Attendance will be taken. We've spent a lot of time this summer making sure our building is safe and healthy and a positive environment for our kids. So we've inserted a couple pictures to show you some of the work that we've done. We've got a lot of hand sanitizing stations, touchless all throughout the building. There's a lot of cool signage on the floors to direct students throughout the building to help them navigate, keep them appropriately spaced. Every classroom's got a PPE bin with kid-approved wipes to wipe down your workstation. And then you can see there some of our traditional classrooms, the physical distancing to keep our kids as far apart as possible. So that's what a classroom will look like. We also have some cool outdoor spaces that our teachers will be utilizing this year to bring you outside, to extend learning beyond the walls and give you a break to take your mask off while remaining 6 feet apart. Number 10, we're ready, we're excited, let's go, let's do this. Go Lakers and champs.
All right, that's my turn. So welcome back, everyone. We're excited to have you in the building. As Ms. Barron said at the beginning, your first day of school will include a Smart Start experience. So for our Lakers, you will experience your Smart Start event on September 8th. And for our champs, you will experience it on the 10th. And I want to give you a little bit of a heads up in terms of what that program will be this year, because normally, right, we have Smart Start for our new students, and this year it's for all of you. So when you arrive on your first day, you are going to be asked to go directly to your home base, and your home base advisor will be there to greet you. They will engage you in a community building event, and then you'll hear from Principal Barron over our new intercom system to share with you her welcome. We will then have you move to Mod 1, remembering going directly from Mod to Mod, and you will hear from Mr. D and myself, and we are going to dig into that operations and procedures guide and really clarify for you what we need from you to help us navigate the building and really to clarify what's different this year. So we'll keep going over those expectations with you. We will then ask you to head to Mod 3, where you will hear from our amazing counselors. They have put together a really informative and creative presentation for you. So you'll not only get to meet your school counselors and see them, but you will also hear a little bit from them around how you can maximize your learning here, both in person and remotely. You'll then head to Mod 4. There will be no scheduled Smart Start programming at that time, so you will have just your 4th Mod class. And then you'll head back to your home base for lunch. So when you head to lunch, you will hear from our Activities and Athletic Director, Mr. Ellingson. He also will come on over the intercom to get you pumped up about co-curriculars, to give you a little bit of information on when those activities will be happening. Some things start the very first week. Some of our clubs will start to meet the 2nd or 3rd week in school. So heads up for that communication from Mr. Ellingson. And then we have something super special for you in 5th Mod, where you will see a Laker Nation video, and you will play a super fun game with your home base, not with your home base, sorry, your 5th Mod peers, and leave feeling super good about this year and coming back to CHS on your 2nd day. So more about Smart Start on the 1st day, but just remember, you want to head to your home base when you arrive on your 1st day.
Hi, CHSers. We're so excited to have you guys back. So as Ms. LeClaire was talking a little bit, she mentioned that when you get to school on those first days, you're going to go on that Smart Start day directly to home base. So as a reminder, you should be logging into PowerSchool before you come to school to check to see what is your overall schedule as well as where your home base location is. If you don't know how to do that, you're going to go right to the CHS home site, and if you go to resources, right under that tab, there is a link for you to click on. No worries if you have forgotten your username or your password, no big deal. There's a blue link right there. You just go ahead, click right on that, and you can reset it, and you'll be able to log in and see your schedule. Up at the top of the page where it says don't forget, that is what your schedule will look like in PowerSchool if you go ahead and click on the matrix view when you get there. So go ahead and do that, and right on there you'll see home base or the Mod 2, and it will tell you the room location. Here's the other thing. If you go ahead and you do that and then you arrive that day and you have forgotten, no big deal. We got you. All of us, as well as other teachers, will be in the hallways with clipboards. We will have all of your names and the location, and we will help you get there, and we will even show you where the room is. So no worries, but absolutely feel free to get on. It's a good thing to kind of know how to do and be able to see your schedule. Again, we are so excited to have you back. I always say every summer at the beginning of August, I always say, whoa, this job is so boring without students. Let me just tell you this, it has been really boring since we shut down without you guys. So we are super psyched to have all of you back in the building. And then just a few more little nuts and bolts here to remind you. So again, just to really hammer home, look at your schedule, take a look. Here in that, this bullet here, there is a link there that you could go ahead and click on. That will take you to the letter that we sent out earlier about add drop. I know lots of you have been meeting with your counselor. It's been super busy back there virtually and looking to add things to your schedule and fill those study halls. So that continues. once we open, AdDrop goes until the 14th. So those are still options for you. Within that letter, there's information also about AP, and let's see what else. Remember, bring your laptop on that first day of school, and remember to bring it charged. Kind of an important little safety tip. And then the Laker View will start moving to bi-weekly. So our next Laker View will come out September 18th. And again, we're super psyched to have you back.
We'll see you next week, Lakers and Champs. Take
See you
care.
soon.
Have a
Take
great week.
care. Bye.